Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today I'm unboxing and trying out a new art subscription box from Germany called UpCrate. This is not sponsored. I paid to try this myself. I first heard about them back in the summer when they were kickstarting their first box, and I've been watching to see what their boxes looked like. At €22 per box or less if you prepay multiple months at a time, UpCrate is currently a little cheaper than Scrawlrbox. Remember, Scrawlrbox starts at £15 per month with an additional £5 shipping outside of the UK, and €22 converts to just under £19, so UpCrate is currently cheaper than Scrawlrbox for all customers outside of the UK. They don't charge shipping. As with all subscription box videos I do, I'll have cost breakdown stuff in the description box below. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear my daughter in the background. I'm trying to film this earlier in the day, so she's awake. So this is the December box, which was their fourth box. If you're watching this close to when I put it up and you like this particular box, they are currently selling leftovers of this box on their website right now. If you want to try their next box but you don't want to commit to a subscription, their website seems to say there's a way to do that, but I couldn't find it. What I did to try this one was start a month-to-month subscription and just cancel after this one shipped. So no, I won't be getting the January box. I do like these guys so far, and I definitely see myself subscribing to them in the future, but I can't afford 2 subscriptions right now, and I'm already locked into Scrawlrbox until the fall. That's not to say that I would definitely jump ship on Scrawlrbox and switch after just one box, but I'll continue to keep my eye on UpCrate this year, maybe do a few no-box Artbox test runs. I also know from a survey Scrawlrbox put out a month or so back that there are possible changes coming for their subscription model, so who knows? Time will tell. By the way, if you're new here, I'd love it if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. I upload twice a week at minimum on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and some weeks I have bonus content as well. This will be one of those weeks, as tomorrow is the January Art Addicts Alliance Collaboration Day. So come back tomorrow for that. Also, in case you haven't heard yet, my biggest goal for YouTube this year is to qualify for the YouTube Partner Program, and I'll be holding an international giveaway to celebrate when I do. Subscribe if you want to be eligible. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and leave a comment down below. I love reading your comments. I appreciate the interaction on my video, and I do reply to everyone. Let me know if you had already heard of UpCrate or if this is the first time you're hearing about it. I am going to talk about the supplies in this box and my general first impressions of the service in just a sec, but in case the video footage is further along than I'm anticipating right now, I just wanted to give a little disclaimer. I did see Catvox's UpCrate video in between opening this box and actually trying it out, so I borrowed her idea of sticking black and white paper together and making my art on both colors at once. Thanks for that idea, Marie. So when you first open UpCrate, you're greeted with a semi-transparent envelope containing the info, the stickers, etc., and your name is right there on top. It does appear that the customer names are handwritten onto the info sheets in Sharpie or a similar black marker, which is a nice touch. This is, of course, based on the billing and shipping information you've given them, so keep that in mind if you decide to order UpCrate for someone else. Make sure the shipping name is the way you want it to appear. And cat's out of the bag for anyone who is curious but hasn't figured it out on their own. Yes, Jenna is short for Jennifer. I've been Jen, Jenny, Jenna, but no one actually calls me Jennifer. As mentioned, the page your name appears on is the info page, similar to the menu cards in other boxes. Also in that envelope is stickers, a small card with the challenge topic on the back, a couple bonus surface cards. The info page tells you about all of the items officially included in the box, including the paper, but not including the bonus gift gel pen. That's on the back of a different little card with the stickers. But it doesn't give you any pricing information for the items or the brand name for the paper. The challenge theme, or battle topic as they call it by the way, is Wonderland. The featured artist in this box is digital artist Sonia Stegemann, and you can pause if you want to read her information and check out her social media and personal website. I love it when boxes include prints. My art room is full of prints from so many artists I might never have heard of. First up on the info page is a pair of metallic markers from Faber-Castell. I showed the markers in their package and then pulled out a loose pair when I was unboxing, because Scrawlrbox also sent these markers in their December box, and I unboxed both of those boxes on the same day. So yes, I still have a set of these unused in their original package. Those will likely be in the giveaway later on. From what I can tell, this is a new line from Faber-Castell, and Scrawlrbox reported them as having a suggested retail price of £4.25 for the pair. Again, UpCrate's info sheet doesn't have any pricing information, so I'll be doing my own research on each item. Faber-Castell's Canadian website lists this particular 2-pack for $5.90 Canadian, and Scrawlrbox's suggested price converts to $7.22 Canadian, so there's clearly some price variation depending on where you buy from. These are metallic ink permanent markers that write on a variety of surfaces, not just paper. They have a 1.5mm fine tip nib that looks similar to those in pump markers, but don't try to pump these. You don't need to, and if they're anything like the PITT pens with this type of nib, you can easily force the nib up inside the pen if you try. Made that mistake once, won't be doing it again. UpCrate's info sheet has a bonus tip on these markers that says you can make the ink waterproof on some non-paper surfaces, like rocks, by baking it at 160 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. The wording on the page is a little funny, probably because it's coming from a country that doesn't speak English as a first language, and it kind of made it sound like you can make the markers themselves waterproof by putting them in the oven. Probably not a good idea if you want to actually use them after that. These multi-surface metallic pens from Faber-Castell come in 6 colors, but we've been sent the gold and silver. The shade names are Heart of Gold and Nothing Else Metals, which I think is kind of cute. If anyone's curious, the other shade names are Copacabana, Very Nice, Ice Blue, and Wanderlust. My overall impression of these markers is that they're very nice as far as metallic markers go. The ink doesn't have any greasy halo like some I've tried, and they write really easy. I did notice, however, that although the ink is colored, the metallic effect comes from a glitter component that is always silver. So the silver ink looks perfect, but the gold ink ends up with patches that are more silver because there's a higher concentration of the glitter settled there. It's also pretty impossible to cover large areas without streaking. You can layer once the ink is dry, so doing your second layer in another direction than the first minimizes that, but it is a water-based ink, so some surfaces like paper aren't going to take kindly to multiple layers. Next up is a Faber-Castell PITT Artist Pen Fineliner in size S, or 0.3mm, and black pigment ink. I do own a set of black PITT fineliners already, but as I showed on camera, mine don't actually have the size labeled, just the letters. I wonder if they've switched to including the size now, or if the difference is that this pen clearly came straight from Germany and wasn't labeled for a different market like the ones I've bought here in North America or received from Scrawlrbox in the UK. I won't say much about this pen because I already have many times. If you want to know more, look for any of my fineliner review videos in my archive. These are waterproof and alcohol ink proof when dry. They're a good option to use under watercolors or with your alcohol ink markers. Not my favorite brand for pigment liners, but definitely an excellent product, and I can understand why they are some artists' favorite. Individually, these pens go for $3.20 Canadian on the Canadian Faber-Castell website. We got a Faber-Castell pencil in this box as well. It's a B lead from their Goldfaber line. Goldfaber, which is their blue and silver packaging line, is their mid-grade products. Their professional tier, like their polychromos colored pencils and their 9000 series graphite pencils, are in green packaging. Their children's art supplies are in red. Blue and silver is their student artist and hobbyist line. I honestly don't know what that means when it comes to a graphite pencil though. Nothing in the description of this pencil tells me it would be lesser quality than the 9000 series pencils. It may just be that they have a Goldfaber set of graphite pencils, so businesses ordering their Goldfaber line can offer matching pencils. I know the Indigo and sub-banner branded bookstores here in Canada stock Goldfaber products. On the Canadian Goldfaber website, these pencils are $1 Canadian each. The 9000 series pencils are $1.60 Canadian. It looks like the Goldfaber graphite pencils only range from 6B to 4H, while the 9000 series pencils range from HB to 6H, so there are 2 fewer lead weights on each end of the scale with Goldfaber. The website also uses the phrase high quality for Goldfaber and top quality for the 9000 series, so that probably refers to the refinement and pureness of the lead. If you're reading the info page in columns, up next is a small blurb at the bottom of the page regarding the included paper. I actually didn't even notice this part the first time and thought we had no information at all for the paper. I'm glad I read through it again. We have 4 sheets each of black and white 110 GSM paper. It doesn't tell us what brand or manufacturer this is or what type of paper this would be, such as calling it cartridge paper. It feels like the fancier papers your high school might have sent for report cards versus the lighter weight printer paper they sent notices home on. It's slightly glossy and has very little tooth. I could tell it was heavier weight than standard printer paper, but I wouldn't have guessed 110 GSM. That's 29 pounds bond weight for my American audience, by the way. Copy paper is usually 20 pounds or 75 GSM. Photo paper is 24 pounds or 90 GSM, and premium brochure paper is usually 32 pounds or 120 GSM. This absolutely feels like brochure paper, so that makes sense. And of course, we have no pricing information for this paper. Without a manufacturer, I can't even make a guess, so we'll play by old school Scrawlrbox rules and just count the paper as a bonus to the value of the box. The entire right-hand column on the info sheet is taken up by the rest of our products, which are Artline markers. So we have 2 lines here, the Decorite and the Sticks. I'm already familiar with Artline Sticks because we got one in either the Scrawlrbox or Sketchbox that was Inktober themed back in 2018. Artline Sticks are glorified children's felt tip markers that call themselves brush markers, but really they just have an elongated bullet nib. It's not flexible at all, and the ink quality is on par with Crayola. The barrels link together like Lego bricks, which is a cute gimmick, but just reinforces the children's art supply feel. In this box, we got the Sticks markers in red, blue, and pink. I wanted to grab pricing information for Artline products straight from their website, but they don't sell directly to their customers, so I can't do that. For simplicity, I'll be looking them up on Canadian Amazon since I got the Faber-Castell prices in Canadian dollars from their own Canadian website. The best price I could find for Artline Sticks is $34.58 Canadian for a 16 pack, which works out to $2.16 Canadian per marker. Keep in mind that none of these were Amazon Prime listings, which means these probably aren't the best prices out there, but it's a good benchmark for customers outside of Australia. Important PSA, by the way, I've mentioned this before, but I'll keep saying it whenever I review markers. YouTube is filtering the word bullet, so don't say that in your comments if you want me to see your comments. Your comment will disappear into the void, never to return. It doesn't go to spam, it just disappears. I know this because I get a notification that you left a comment and I can see the first few words, but when I try to respond, the comment has been deleted by YouTube. Call them a fine nib or spell bullet creatively. Replace the U with a V, replace the L's with ones, whatever. And if you're watching this and you've asked me a bullet nib question on another marker video, this is why you haven't heard back from me. I'm not ignoring you. Go ahead and ask again. As for the Decorite markers, these are non-pump paint markers. The info card says they come in a range of 20 colors and 3 different nib types, of which we have a good selection. The bullet nib, again, don't say bullet in the comments, is a 1mm tip. When I was swatching these, I thought the first bullet nib I tried was a brush nib because it's so long and I'm used to the firmness of the Sticks brush nibs. But these are in fact not brush nibs on the Decorite line. We also have one example of the 3mm flat nib and a few brush nibs. The brush nibs are much more flexible than the Sticks brush nibs, and they actually remind me of good alcohol marker brush nibs. We have white, black, yellow, brown, and green in matte ink, and red, green, and copper in metallic shades. They are somewhat blendable if you layer wet into wet, and you can indeed get more opaque fills if you layer over dried paint. Both the manufacturer website for these markers and the UpCrate info sheet refers to them as being water-based pigment ink, but they look, feel, and smell like cheap tempera paint or poster paint. I couldn't find these on any Canadian site at all, so for pricing reference, on a pack of 20 brush nib pens, it will cost you $32.99 US before shipping on eBay. That works out to $1.65 US each, or $2.15 Canadian, which sounds like a very reasonable price to me for what they are. Overall, I really like the Graphite pens a lot more than I thought I would at first, and I'd be curious to try them on other surfaces. We also got a Christmas-themed gel pen that was a bonus gift. I didn't end up using it, but it's really cute, and the ink seems to be good quality. It looks like it's probably a 0.1 or 0.2 millimeter nib. When I was trying to think of what to draw for the Wonderland theme, I kept thinking of Alice in Wonderland, which led me to think of the White Rabbit. Drawing an actual White Rabbit would have really limited me in terms of trying out all the colors, so I did a somewhat normal colored rabbit on the white half of my paper and a metallic version on the black side. I was going for color choices that feel like an inverted color image, but of course I didn't have many colors to choose from, so this isn't actually the appropriate inverted color choices. I completely forgot to use the 3 sticks markers, but I'm not upset about it. I almost felt like there was too many individual items in this box to use them all. The paper crinkled and warped a little by the time I was done putting so many layers of these markers down on them, and physically holding it, it makes me feel like I stepped back in time to my elementary school days and made a project using supplies from the school's art room. It's charming in a nostalgic way, but it doesn't feel high quality. Because of that, I think this box was a great experience for having fun and trying new things, but it may not necessarily be providing the highest quality materials. Not all boxes do, and not every box sends out the best stuff every time, so I won't judge them too harshly for that. Again, cost breakdown in the description box below. Normally I do Canadian dollars, US dollars, and Great British pounds only, but this time I'll also include euros since this box comes from Germany. Anyway, this has been a long one. Let me know if you want me to try their past box or their future boxes in my No Box Art Box series, or if you really want to see me actually get more of them for real in the future. See you tomorrow!